Hey, I just had the craziest DoorDash order ever. I had to go from a DoorDash delivery driver to an EMT, basically. Like, if all started off as just a regular liquor store delivery, I went to the guy's house, and when you have a liquor order or an alcohol order, you have to get their signature. So I went up to the door, I knocked on the door, and it took a minute for the guy to answer the door. So I was like, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. And finally, after about a minute or two, I hear him say, "Hold on," and so I wait. He finally answers the door. When he answers the door, he's holding on to the door. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's just like had back problems or something. So I pulled out my phone in order for him to show me his ID. So he pulled out his ID, and as he starts to pull out his ID to hand it to me, he's holding it like this while holding on to the wall, and he's holding his ID in his hand, holding on to the wall at the same time. So I'm like, maybe he got back problems, maybe his back hurting him real bad or something like that. So I scan his ID in or whatever, and as he tries to put his ID back into his wallet, he pulls his arm down and starts falling backwards, like and hits the ground. I grab him on the grab his shirt to hold him before he hits the ground. And right before he hit the ground, he started sliding up under my feet. So I'm trying to hold him up to keep his head from hitting the ground because his head is like right beside the wall. And he was about to hit his head on the wall. So I'm holding him up and I slowly let him down. Slowly. I said, "Are you okay, sir? Are you okay, sir? Is something wrong with your back or what's going on?" And he was acting like he couldn't talk. And he was like, it's my medicine, my medicine. And I was like, "Do you what's wrong?" Because I was an EMT, so I started when he said his medicine. I started like observing him and trying to see like what's going on with him, or looking at his face, make sure he's not having a stroke or having any facial droop or anything like that. But he was saying he needed his medicine, so I immediately started thinking. I was like, maybe he has diabetes because this is like maybe he have low sugar right now. So I asked him, "Do you take glucose?" And he said, "Yes, yes, yes." So I went over there and I looked on the table. There's a whole bunch of medicines on the table. So I'm looking through, looking for glucose, and I see these little gel tubes. And I remember from my EMT that they have glucose gel tubes. So I said, this must be it. Look, red, and sure enough, it said glucose on the back of it. So I ran over there, squeezed it into his mouth on the floor, and probably about 2, 3 minutes later, he started coming to and everything. And I helped him up. He's like, "You can leave. Thank you. You done enough." I said, "I can't leave you on the floor like this, man. I wouldn't feel right leaving you on the floor like this. So at least let me get you on the couch and I'll call 911 for you." And he's like, "Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. That happens like 3, 4 times a week." I said, 3, 4 times a week? You end up on the floor like this? So I pick him up. And as I'm picking him up, I carry him over to the couch and put him down on the couch. And I said, like, why are you here by yourself like this? Like, what's going on for you, like, to not have any help if this happens 3, 4 times a week? And he said, well, my wife used to do all of this, but she just passed 2 months ago. And I said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And I'm looking at pictures and I see pictures of him and his wife and stuff. They climb mountains and stuff like that. So they used to be very active. And I'm like, man, so I said, you don't have any help here or anything? He was like, man, I don't have enough money to afford like help and stuff to come over and stuff like that. So I said, man, I said like you don't have any insurance or anything like that to that covers that. And he was like, my insurance barely covers my medication. I don't have any extra help to come to the house. That's why I try to avoid going to the hospital and stuff like that. I said, man, that is bad. I said, man, I feel like I need to start coming to check up on you or something like that. Like I feel bad leaving you here. He was like, nah, you've done enough. He said, you really helped me. I'm glad you were here. I said, man, like to be honest, I thought about like saving his address so I can come check on him like once or twice a week or something, make sure he alive or something. Because he don't have nobody there with him. That just made me think it's important, man, to get like some life insurance. Make sure you invest your money, have something growing for you. So like when you get older, you have enough money to take care of yourself, and you have like something to where like if you pass away, have you some life insurance or something to where you can leave your partner something to where they can take care of themselves, so they're not stuck in that situation. Because that made me feel very sad. I didn't like, man, I didn't even want to leave that man, but I don't want to hold y'all up. That's just something I was thinking about, and that was a crazy delivery that I had today. But y'all stay prayed up and y'all be safe on these roads and shoot, good luck. with these deliveries, but you never know who you're gonna help out here. You never know who you're gonna run into. So shoot, just stay alert and man, shoot, that's something to think about. Just be thankful. Be thankful for being here every day. Every day is a blessing. Every day alive is a blessing. And shoot, things like that help you realize it. Yeah, y'all be blessed out there.